Okay, so this is still going to be another theory lecture. This has to do with method overloading in Java. So one name, many jobs. What does method overloading mean? So the method overloading has to do with giving your method superpowers to work with different data. So let's go to the first question. What is method overloading? Well, 2 points. We have same method name, different parameters. Then the second point is Java figures out which version to use based on what you passed in. What you pass in. So we have same method name, now different parameters, meaning one method, different parameters. So initially we used to have a method where you pass in a particular parameter, but now you can be able to pass in multiple parameters. How do we mean? Or how do I mean? Sorry. I mean, using example one, overloaded greet method. So this is how it works. Now imagine you have a class called greeter. Then initially you're supposed to say system.out.what, whatever. Then if you want to collect the class name, you can just use name with constructors and all that. But now let's go simple. Using the code snippet you can see on my screen, you can copy this and paste, or you can type this out in your IntelliJ or whatever ID you are using. Okay, just pause the video and do that. So what if you, after doing that, you can come back. Let's continue. So after creating the class, you can get two functions, two methods in your class. So the first method is going to greet. Now notice the first method is called void. It's not returning anything. That is why it's called void. Now void greet, saying system.out.println hi. Okay, that's just going to greet. Then the next one is void greet, but it comes with a parameter. The parameter is your name. Again, it is void because it's not returning anything to anything. So now we're using the name in the system.out.println to make sure the user has a name. Now you can call either of these two functions from the class. How do you do it? Either you call greet and it falls in the first function without a name, or you call greet and in the brackets you put in a name in columns, okay, or quotation marks, sorry. That's how to call the second function. Now example 2, we add method with different types. What or how do I mean? I mean this. If you go with a calculator app, you see that you have class calculator, initial integer of add, int a, int b. So int is just the name of the type of the method. Then the name of the method is add. Then the parameter is a and b of integers. Now note we are returning. That's why we're not using void. We're using int. We're returning an int a and b. So when you add a and b, the result is should be an integer. The next is a double. We're adding two double numbers. So the first one we're adding integers. The second one we're adding double. So notice this is a method with different types. Okay, so it is a method with different types. Now we'll understand what we mean by a method with different types. Int is a type of its own, and double is a type of its own. So if I want to call the first function, I just say add, giving whole numbers. The second function, I say add, giving double numbers. That's number with like 9.0, okay? And it falls to any function of from the above class. What are the rules of overloading? Well, the rules are you can change number of parameters, types of parameters, order of parameters. Can't overload by changing return type. Let's go back. In this function, we can change the number of parameters, int a, int b, int c, int d, int f, just like that. So You can have multiple parameters. Then we can change the type of parameters. We can have integer, we can have double, we can have boolean, we can have float. We can change the order of parameters. So we can say int b before int a. We can say double before uh, add an int. So but we can't overload by just changing return type. So where we have return a plus b, we can't go back and add again return b plus a, or just overloading the system. No, it would break your code. All right. So next up, I have a challenge for you. I need you to create a method called describe that works with one string and another version that works with string plus age. So what I need you to do basically is create a class called person or describe, and inside that class, I need you to create one that says describe. From the class, you need to use the name describe, and you are going to call that or you can say the class, sorry, should be called person. Then now create a method called describe. Maybe, yeah, it should return something. If it's returning something, if it's not returning something, then make it void system.out.println. Okay, so the first one should just describe, hey, it's me. And the second one should describe void describe taking string as sorry, int, yeah, with string plus, okay, taking int for age. Then next you say system.out.hi, it is me, I am age years old. So age should contain your age. I'm so years old. Okay, so that is your challenge. And note, I'm not going to drop the solution for this because I need you to go out there to learn how to get your own to write your own code in Java. So that's it. Now your method can multitask like a pro. Next, we're taking static versus non-static methods and explain why main is so special. So if you really want to know why main is so special, leave a like, subscribe, and comment overload master in your comment section in YouTube. So if you really understood it today. So that's it for me. Have a nice day.